Only give me the co-host rights once we go live. No?
You have.
No, now they are disabled, maybe because we logged in again.
Yes. Now what?
Just give me the co-host rights. Huh? They're disabled, maybe because we
No.
logged in
Yes.
again. Slides are visible.
Yes. You can start.
Okay. So, a very good afternoon to each and everyone who are here and watching us live. I am Dr. Kasturi R. Naik. I am educator, author, researcher, life coach specialized in emotional intelligence and a corporate mentor. And today we are going to talk about developing leadership legacy for success. So, as I initiate this particular topic, let me first and foremost express a thanks to International Internship University for giving me this platform where I can share with each one of you my research as well as my thoughts on this topic, developing leadership legacy for success. So, IIU is a leading virtual education system and a global brand confederation. It is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well reputed in delivering the innovative programs. It is a trusted name in quality training programs, and it is also committed to provide better and virtual education to all the young learners across the globe. This particular university has a presence in 195 countries and 6 continents under a very strong leadership of visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit, sir. A committed, inspiring social activist, a passionate educationist from last 2 decades, providing education to students from various social and cultural backgrounds. So it is my privilege and honor to be a part of this particular virtual stage. And I also thank Irmi for being with me throughout this process to make the process a smooth one. So let us initiate by talking about what is leadership. So if you're watching this live or even if you watch it afterwards, I want you to type in the chat box or on the Facebook, what is leadership account according to you? I'll give you around 30 seconds for that. What when we say leadership, what comes to your mind? Okay. So for me, if somebody asks me what is leadership, I believe leadership is an action, not a position. According to me, a title doesn't make you a leader, but the actions which you take makes you a leader. So for this journey of leadership, where leadership is an action and it is not a position, I'm going to share with you a action based tool to become a leader, and this tool is ABCDE. So A stands for appearance, B stands for behavior, C stands for communication, D is your digital presence, and E is etiquette. Now, as I take you through this particular tool, which is an action based tool, I want to tell you that this tool is not a lip service, but this tool is experimented, explored by the corporate leaders and the entrepreneurs, and they have got results. So, take your notepad, or if you're writing on a digital notepad, it's perfectly fine. Make your notes because this tool is surely going to help you to get to the leadership journey and to also have success throughout the process for you as an individual as well as your team members. Okay. So as we go and as I initiate this tool, I want to make you all very clear that first and foremost, you need to identify yourself as a leader. Once we identify that, identity as a leader is very important. And how do I identify myself as a leader? I start identification of myself as a leader when any experience is happening in my life. I have two options. Either I consider those experiences as my success, or I learn something from those experiences. That makes me a leader. Okay. So I have a singularity of mind. There is an experience, be it a positive or negative, whatever it is, but I have a singularity of mind. Either I learn from those experiences, or those experiences give me success. And so the benefit of this identification of we as a leader, and this is also said in Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna and Krishna are having a dialogue, where, Krishna explains to Arjuna that you need to see whether are you a fighter or are you a warrior. So a warrior is a leader who identifies himself with a singularity of mind. On the other hand, a fighter is somebody who always have duality of mind. For a fighter, there is winning or losing. There is right or wrong. There is ethical or unethical. But for a warrior, there is singularity of mind, that is success or learning. And so a warrior keeps on engaging in the process and gets the final outcome. That is the difference between a fighter and a warrior. Okay. So there was a research conducted, and people were given 30 seconds and they were made to choose between these two apples. And if you're watching us live, I want you to choose which apple would you choose out of these two apples. And it is said that 98% of the respondents said that we would go with the apple in the left. So nobody would say that give me a knife and I'll cut the apple and see which one is better to taste. I will select the uh, apple towards the left. Then, there was again a question asked to around, children in the age group of 5 to 10, that these two are the options of gift which are available with you. Which one would you select? And many of those kids said that so if I want to mention in percentage, it was again around 99%. They said that we would go with the left one. Okay, and this choice was made in 30 seconds. Yeah. Then corporate leaders were asked a question that if you have to send one of the person out of these three ladies at the client side to close a deal, which one would you prefer? And here again, 99% of the corporate leaders said we would prefer the one towards the left, who is wearing the blazer and the trousers. And simply they said because she looks more competent, she looks more ready to be there, more organized. So that is the first action focus which I want to share with everyone. As a leader, you need to have a good appearance, because people are going to, after looking at you, immediately decide whether are you a leader or are you a follower or are you just a team member. So first impressions are very important for your leadership journey to be a success. Okay. And these first impressions depend on three things. First is people are going to decide to take you as a leader or not on the basis of your clothing and your accessories. Second is your body language. And third is your grooming and hygiene. Because when you made those selections, or when the research respondents made those selections, they made on these three bases. So the first very important criteria for a leader is image outside in and image inside out. So to have a good image outside in, we need to be very aware about the clothing, the accessories, the body language, and the grooming and the hygiene. The body language includes the gestures, the postures, the facial expressions, the non-verbal cues, which we are sending to the opposite counterpart when we are dealing with them. Okay. And you will not believe, but within seconds, people are going to extrapolate your appearance to your intelligence, to your personality, to the competencies which you have. They are going to extrapolate it to the authority, to the trustworthiness. That is the importance of appearance in leadership. So then what is this appearance all about? So the appearance encompasses the three A's: appropriateness, authenticity, and attractiveness. Appropriateness is looking like I belong wherever I'm going. So as a leader, I need to look like one in my body language, in my posture, in my gesture, in my non-verbal communication, in my eye contact. That's very important. Second is authenticity. As a leader, I need to be an authentic person inside out. There are two things which I have as a leader a choice. I can be either a manipulative leader or a transformational leader. And people get it in my energy. For a manipulative leader, the thing is that the followers will just act like a herd of sheep who are following a manipulator leader. And manipulator leader will try to keep on manipulating the followers to get the things done. And short-term goals can be achieved by such a leader, but a transformational leader, a true transformational leader is an authentic one, where he will elevate people, he will make people grow, he will make people climb up the ladder, and he or she will keep on upgrading himself or herself. And the third very important thing is your attractiveness. As a leader, a litmus test of a true leader is attractiveness. And when I talk about attractiveness, again, I'm not talking about the outside, only the external attractiveness. I'm also talking about, meeting you as a leader need to be a pleasant experience where I exchange some or the other solution and I feel elevated after the discussion is over. A true leader never ever makes the opposite person feel inferior, okay, because of any problem happening around. So that's a litmus test, and that is what is attractiveness, very important quality, again, which comes from you being inside out and outside in the true genuine person. So, and so then, as a leader, what do I want to reflect outside? I want to reflect that I am approachable. I want to reflect that I am authentic. I want to reflect that I am a decision maker. I am knowledgeable. I'm formal. I'm helpful. I'm convincing. So these are some of the recommended dress code when you're dressing as a leader. You need to remember the dress code as a leader need to be more formal, more tailored, more classic, wardrobe neutrals to be included. So if you want to be taken seriously and sincerely respected as a leader in the field of your profession. So that's the first A, the first action focus, which I have shared with you. Dress how you want to be addressed. Now I'll be taking you to the second part. Now, what is the second part? The second action focus, the behavior as well as the communication. So appearance or the first impression is going to give us the opportunity. Now, my question to you, and I want you all to type in the chat box also, is opportunity enough? And again, around 100% of the respondents said that opportunity is not enough. Opportunity is just first impression. And I get a particular thing. So because there is so much of competition, for me to show that I am capable, my first impression is very, very important. And this first impression gives me the opportunity. But after I get the opportunity, I need to perform. And my performance is dependent on the education which I have, on my experience, and on my emotional fitness, on my emotional intelligence. My performance is totally dependent on my education, on my experience, on my emotional fitness or emotional intelligence. Okay. So my emotional intelligence is now divided into two parts: behavior and communication. That is the B and C of leadership. So what is this behavior and communication? Again, 93% of my behavior and my communication is dependent on my body language and my vocality as a leader. My vocal, how do I use my vocals? How do I use voice as a leader? It's very important. Okay, and that accounts for 93%. And my actual words, they account for only 7%. So as a leader, you need to be very, very aware of the body language and the tone of your voice. Very important. So that the followers take you seriously. So that the followers know that you mean business. And 7% is the words which are taken into consideration. Okay. Now, my question to you again is behavior and communication. Is it always interpersonal? That is it always when I behave or as a leader, my behavior and my communication starts with how do I behave or communicate within myself, my self talk. And in a day, we have 86,400 seconds. Every second, one thought is coming in my mind. So 86,400 thoughts in my mind. And that becomes my self talk. So as a leader, I need to be very, very aware of my self talk and keep it focused so that wherever I am, I act like an asset and I do not act like a liability. Okay. So that brings me to the topic of emotional intelligence. For me to be a leader, I need to be emotionally intelligent because as a leader, I am the emotional thermostat of my entire team. If a leader is calm and poised, so is the entire team because the leader sets the culture of the entire team. And what is this culture? This culture is a pattern of a learned behavior. And if I am somebody who is turbulent, somebody who has lots of aggression in my behavior, who is rude, who is incivil, so is my entire team. And according to HBR review, it is being stated that in the organization, including Fortune 500 companies, rudeness and incivility in the organizations is rising up to 98% and more. That is the plight of the organizations we need to be aware of. Okay. So what is this emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is basically, before I move to emotional intelligence, why you need to be emotionally intelligent as a leader is because as a leader, I have to deal with different stakeholders. In my professional life, I have my subordinates. I have my own, as a leader, I may have my super leader. I have my co-workers. Also in my personal life, I have my, I have son, I have daughter, I have my brother, sister, wife, so many things and relations I need to handle. And that requires me to be emotionally intelligent. So I'm able to handle all those relations properly. Okay. So there was a study, a research done on 2,800 service professionals who were at a leadership position, and they were interviewed. And they said that 25% of their success depends on their technical capabilities, but 75% of their success dependent on their emotional intelligence. So as we come towards the closure of behavior and communication, let us see what is EI. So EI is divided into four parts. It includes your self-awareness, your self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. We'll see one by one. So what is self-awareness and self-management? So a true leader has two things in life, okay, which is very important for a leader. One is before I take any actions, I need to feel the consequences of the action. And before I speak, I need to think what will be the impact of whatever I am speaking. So I feel, I take actions, I think, then I speak. And that sums up into X plus Y is equal to your life, where your X is the constant in your life and Y is the variable. Now, what is this X? As you keep on growing up the ladder, there will be people around you who will be throwing stones at you. There will be people around you who will be difficult in your life. There will be people around you who will be creating, who will be put the situations around you, which will be difficult situations. And more success we get in our life, more and more tsunamis we'll be facing in our life. So that is our X, that is the constant in our life. Now, what is the Y? Y is the variable. That is how do I react or respond to this X. So I have my emotions, which are variables. I have my thoughts, which are variables. And I need to decide how do I react or respond to this particular X, that is the constant. Okay. Am I emotionally resilient? Do I have the ability to bounce back? So it is not that the leaders never ever give up on their emotions. They do give up on the emotions. They do face fear. They do face guilt. They do face shame. And they do feel victimized also sometimes. But the quality of a leader is that he or she knows when to bounce back. And this bouncing back capability is the resilience. And once we are able to do this, the equation of our life becomes better. It helps us to elevate ourselves. So X plus Y is equal to life, where X is all the constants in our life and Y are the variables, the things which are in control. Okay. So, like, if you do not manage your own self, what will happen as a leader? You will be having low energy, no concentration, immune system goes down, your alertness reduces, your retention level reduces, the negative impact is there on your mood. And that is why self awareness and self management is very, very essential. Then the third point is emotional intelligence, so that you become an effective communicator, is social awareness. So as if we want to be a true leader, we need to be aware that first thing, I need to talk directly with the person who can solve a particular issue. So if I have an issue to be tackled, if I have a problem with an particular individual or a particular department, I need to directly talk with that department or that individual. I need not talk with 10 other people and enter into gossip. That's a true leader. So if I have a problem with you, I come and talk with you who can solve the issue. And second is, if I have to appreciate, I appreciate in front of everybody, so that that becomes a best practice in my organization. And that is social awareness. And this social awareness automatically leads to relationship management. Okay. So what is social awareness? I talk directly. So suppose if I have a problem, person A has a problem with person B, he or she goes and talks directly with this particular person as a leader. And when I'm talking and interacting with a problem in my mind, I talk with a solution perspective. That will always, that is what is being socially aware, acting as an asset in a society wherever I am. And when I have to appreciate, I appreciate in front of everyone. And this will lead to relationship management. Okay. So emotional intelligence actually helps us to create our own personal brand. As a leader, if we want to create our own personal brand, emotional intelligence helps us, because it helps us to build confidence in our own capabilities without getting into self vanity. It emotional intelligence helps us to stay modest. And as a leader, modesty is very important. And it also helps us in self realization. Like I told you, a true leader is a warrior, a true leader is not a fighter. So, self realization is, it helps us to go within and find out why a particular failure happened, why a particular negative situation arose, why a particular person is difficult to handle. That is self realization. And that is, it helps us to create an alternative reality for us, where we stop the blame game. So when we develop this emotional intelligence, the positive thing is, we do not enter into blaming, excusing and denial. We stop the blame game and we enter into taking ownership, accountability and responsibility. We move from below to above the line. Above the line we become a victor, below the line we stay a victim. Okay, so there is a difference between staying a victim and becoming a victor. Above the line, we become a victor. We speak from the perspective of ownership, accountability, and responsibility. Below the line, we speak with the focus of blaming, excusing, and taking denial. Okay. So then, yeah, emotional intelligence helps us to create a personal brand. Whenever as a leader, so what makes us leader? I told you it is your actions. Actions makes true leader. And what are these actions? Getting a promotion does not make us a leader. Being vocal about a social cause doesn't make us a leader. Registration, we register for a leadership course will never ever make us a leader. What will make us a leader is once we get a promotion, acting in that direction. Once I post on a social media about a social cause, going to the ground level and executing. Registering for a leadership course will not make me a leader. Now also this 1 hour, 60 minutes, which we are spending together is not going to make us leader. This is 30%. But then after this particular session is over, what do I do the next 70% of the time? That will make me a true leader. Okay, that is where the leadership comes into picture. When I am there and when I am with the difficult people in the difficult situation, how do I handle myself? Do I act like an asset or do I act like a liability? That will prove whether I am a leader or not. Yeah, and that requires emotional equanimity shown by Narayan Murthy, shown by Ratan Tata, shown by Nelson Mandela. That requires emotional equanimity. That is not being in the past, not attached to the future, but being in the present and taking the actions which are required to be taken. Not being in the past, not being in the future, being in the present and taking the actions that is required to be taken. That is emotional equanimity practiced by these ACE leaders who are leaders with legacy. Okay, these leaders are surely, the leadership which has cheated death and which will cheat death in the future. Okay, even if we see the top 15 skill sets according to the job survey, 2020 World Economic Forum, you can see that leadership is the sixth important quality which you need to develop. That is followed by 9th and 11th, if you can see, resilience and emotional intelligence. These are the next important qualities which we need to develop, very essential to develop. Okay. Now, if you're watching me, listening to me, I want you all to draw a tree in your notepad. And I'll give you 30 seconds for that. I just want you to draw a tree in the notepad. I want you to draw a tree in the notepad. Okay, and I'm giving you 30 seconds for this. And once you have completed the drawing of the tree, what I want you to do is, once you have completed the drawing of the tree, what I want you to do is, I want you to check in your notepad whether your tree has roots. I want you to check in your notepad whether your tree has roots. Okay? Because that is what is self-awareness. I was talking about self-awareness. Tree having roots is a very important quality. We many a times when I say draw a tree, we forget drawing the roots. Likewise, when there is a problem, when there is a calamity, when there is a difficult situation around us, we forget self-awareness. We forget our mindset. Okay. And so leadership cannot be taught. Leadership needs to be learned because leadership is all about self-reflection, going deep within. It is all about our self-awareness. It is all about developing the right kind of intelligence acumen. It is all about developing the right kind of mindset. Okay, that's the base. So once I check, I'll just give you a very simple example. Suppose if I enter into a class where I want to learn how to memorize numbers. Okay, but if I have a mindset that I have a very poor memory, then irrespective of an excellent tutor I will not be able to memorize the numbers because I have in my mind that I have a poor memory. And that is why developing a good positive mindset, optimistic mindset is very important. Because this self-awareness, whether do I have a good mindset or not, will help me to take actions. And that is self-management. So once I know that I have a good memory, and I have registered for the class, I will take actions to learn the processes taught by my tutor. Okay. Likewise, once I decide that I want to be a leader, I will enter into different kinds of leadership roles. And that will give me the right kind of motivation where I will start taking the actions. That is self-management. Self-management is taking actions, getting up and doing something. A true leader is known for it, taking actions. Anxiety is where you go into an inertia mode and you just sit and you do not take any actions. On the other hand, self-management is getting up and taking actions, being motivated to take actions, which will lead to social awareness and relationship management. Okay. So once I start taking actions, I will be in the society, I'll be in an organization, I will develop relationships, and I will engage into different methods which will give me the results. And these results are the fruits and the leaves which we can see in the tree. So what happens is whenever there is a problem in our life, we start throwing stones on the trees, leaves and the fruits. We forget about the roots. We do not remember that we have to water the root. Nothing is going to help us by blaming others. We start throwing stones at the trees and the leaves and the fruits, which means we start entering into a thinking trap. We start entering into thoughts of blaming, denial, and excuses, which undercuts our effectiveness. And if that undercuts our effectiveness, we stop performing. And if we stop performing, we are not able to get the results. And getting results is very important. Okay. So, idea everybody has, but the right mindset, the right motivation, and the right method will lead to taking actions and implementation of an idea. And that is what a true leader is aware of. A true leader is always aware that I have an idea. Now I need to get up and I need to take actions which will help me implement my idea. That is what is a true leader all about. Okay. So this was about behavior and communication. We started with appearance. Appearance is what? Looking like I belong wherever I am. Authenticity, that is inside out, I am the same genuine person. Meeting me is a pleasant experience. I am not a manipulator, but I am a transformer. I believe in elevating people. I believe in I believe in progress. That is all about the appearance. Behavior and communication is all about being aware of what are my beliefs that makes my mindset. My beliefs are creating my mindset. Okay. Now, what is this beliefs? My beliefs are assumptions, story which I tell to myself about the life. So I can believe that I have a good memory, I'm smart, I'm a leader, I'm optimistic, I'm an elevator, or I can believe that I am dumb. I can believe that I cannot take the leadership role. I can believe that I am somebody who needs to, who cannot be at the forefront and execute things. And that beliefs, if we go to see, like we saw in this tree, that beliefs will allow me to take or not take actions, and that will give me my results. So that was about your behavior and communication. It starts from inside out. Behavior and communication is not only about good vocabulary, it is not only about clarity in speech, it is also about the actions which I take based on my belief systems. And there is no absolute truth when it comes to your belief systems. We can talk and talk on this topic. It's a very interesting topic. And these belief systems are totally connected to strategic thinking. It is totally connected to how do I use the information which is there in my organization. And behavior and communication also is connected to my internal and external stakeholder relationship. Okay. That makes me a true leader. Then my digital presence, very important. 75% of the employers or the clients have stated that the digital presence is going to make me decide whether I enter into a contract or I do not enter into a contract with a particular individual or with a particular company. And that is why digital presence is very important post-pandemic for everybody. 70% of the clients or the employers have decided not to enter into the relationship with the prospective organization just because the digital presence was not good. Okay. So as a leader, these are the few tips for building a good digital presence. Using a clear photo of yourself, completing the description field to the fullest, claiming the social media profile, being consistent across all the social media profile, checking the privacy settings, not posting something which the seniors do not want to see, or if you are a college student, not posting something which you do not want your teachers to see, not tagging others without their permission, Googling yourself at least once a week is very important so that you know what is the social media talking about you, and not posting pictures that take you in a bad light. That is also a very important criteria. Okay. Now, digital presence is over, and digital presence is very, very important for you as a leader, because digital presence help you to reach across, masses. And now, if you see business, initially the business was one to one. Okay. Now the business is one to many. And digital presence, your clients are there, your stakeholders like your government is there, your your business partners are there, your customers are there. So digital presence is very important for you as a leader to create a good brand image for your organization. Now we come to what is etiquette. This is the last part, and then we will have a closure. So etiquette is what? Etiquette is basically I make you comfortable in my presence and I am comfortable in your presence. That is what is etiquette. So certain career limiting behavior as a leader, if you are a leader, then time management becomes very important. Leader always leads time. Leader never follows time. And you, like I told you, you will be the emotional thermostat of your entire team. So you as a leader do not follow time. Your followers are never going to follow the time. Ignoring your career, again, not taking up the high profile projects, not increasing your internal network, not finding a mentor, not learning quickly, not ready to share your knowledge. This all can break down your career. Not responding to requests or asking for help, communicating that you can't meet the timeline or take care of it. These all things again can limit your career. Lack of follow up, follow through, not creating a project plan, publishing the progress, failure to follow the instructions, downplaying your executive presence. Okay, as a leader, you need to always dress up for the position and adjust your verbal as well as your body language so that you're taken, like I told before, also sincerely by your subordinates, because first impressions matter a lot. Now, these are some of the career enhancing behaviors as a leader. Sticking to your commitments, which is very important. Being proactive, very important. Thriving with change, okay, because change is one of the constant. And the only person who is, I can say the only person who is happy with change is a baby with a wet diaper. Otherwise, everybody wants to resist change. But thriving with change is important. In the moment of change, if we just stay as a spectator or just as a survivor, it's not going to help us. We have to grow with change. We have to elevate ourselves with change. We have to thrive with change. Optimistic attitude, listening and engaging is very important, and being aware of our inner circle. A true leader, like remember one thing, you become an average of 5 people you continuously interact with. Again, I'm repeating, you become an average of 5 people you continuously interact with. So if you want to be a true leader, you need to be away, gracefully away from pessimistic people. That is very important for you. Okay. Now, this is a research which was conducted by Sumatra Ghoshal, and I will conclude with this research. So he has, this research is published in Harvard Business Review also, where he has said that Lufthansa Airlines, around in 1990s, they were in a turbulence. So the newly appointed head of that particular airlines, he decided to have a task force of 500 management professionals to revive the Lufthansa Airlines, and he took a bank loan. And this bank loan was used to pay the salary of this 500 the 500 professionals, management professionals. Okay. And then out of these 500 management professionals, he found out that there were only 10% of managers who could be called as a leader. because they had both the focus as well as the energy. These 10% of managers who could be called as leaders, they had both focus as well as energy. And so they could show their purposefulness. They had high self awareness. They were excellent planners and executors. They had good willpower. They had a very strong boundary. They were personally accountable for making significant contributions. And they knew how to manage their external as well as internal environment. And these 10% of the managers were the ones who were, responsible for the revival of this entire Lufthansa Airlines back. On the other hand, 20% of the managers showed disengagement. There was no focus was very high, energy was not there. 30% were procrastinators, no focus, no energy at all. And 40% distractors. So high energy, but focus was missing. And that is what this research proved. So a true leader is one who has a good focus as well as energy. And because of this focus and energy, a true leader is able to give alignment and autonomy to his organization. A true leader is able to give both alignment as well as autonomy in his organization. An organization without alignment, if there is only autonomy, everybody has freedom, everybody can do whatever they want to do. But there is no alignment at all, that can be a chaotic situation. And an organization where only alignment is there, that is, the leader is only having a vision, but the followers do not have any vision and they are just blindly following the leaders, that will also create a problem. And so alignment and autonomy, both the things are very important when it comes to an organization. And that is proved by this particular research done by Sumitra Kaushal. Okay. So now I just want those who are watching this particular session, I want you all to stretch your hands. Okay. Just stretch your hands. And as you stretch your hands, just feel the stretch. I want you all to stretch your hands. And as you do it, just feel the stretch. Okay. Stretch your hands. And as you do it, just feel the stretch. After this is done, stretch your hands a little more. After this is done, I want you to stretch your hands a little more. After this is done, I want you to stretch your hands a little more. Is it possible to stretch a little more? Just give me a yes or no in the chat box whenever you watch this. So this is what a true leader does. A true leader makes you stretch your hand and they tell you that you have more potential, do more, unleash the potential more. So if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader, as said by Simon Sinek. If your actions inspire others to do more, to learn more, to dream more, and become more, you are a leader. Okay. So again, as I conclude, which organization would you like to work with, left or right? And again, around 99% of the respondents said we would like to work with the left. Okay, which specifies that an organization where the leader is self-aware, the leader is able to manage himself, the leader has social awareness and relationship management, is the organization where exchange of knowledge takes place and money comes into picture. But the organization where the leader is rude, leader is incivil, this is the organization where pessimism is there, rudeness is there, incivility is there, depression is there, and people have the chances of getting fired. Yeah. So remember, people are like diamonds, and this ABCDE tools will help these diamonds to get polished so that the real value of the diamonds will come up and people will be able to achieve their goals. We can increase our value with this particular tool, and that will help us to achieve our goals. So with this, I conclude. This is my number if you want to get connected to me. And this is my email ID, info.kasturi@gmail.com. So I conclude with this one quote given by Albert Einstein. The leader is one who, out of clutter, brings simplicity, out of discord, harmony, and out of difficulty, brings opportunity. That's a true leader. Okay, and with this, I conclude. If there are any questions, you could surely type in the chat box on Facebook, and I would make it a point that I will be answering those questions. Once again, I thank in the university for giving me this opportunity. I thank Piyush Pandit sir and the entire organizing team for this wonderful experience of interacting with the delegates from 196 countries across the world. Thank you.